Hey guys, welcome to Let's Talk with Jermaine, episode 3. Yes, it's Chris again, back again for the third episode in a row. I want to thank everyone that been listening for the past 2 weeks. Thank you for listening to the first episode, second episode, and now this is the third episode. And today's issue is quite interesting. We're going to look at something very, very important. We're going to be looking at forgiveness. Yes, that word. The forgiveness word is something that is affecting this generation greatly, especially young men and women. We've got a lot of young men with father wounds, a lot of young women with mother and father wounds, and there's so much controversy going on. Everyone is hurt, everybody is offended. So we're gonna just spend this episode and talk to you guys about what forgiveness is and what it means to actually walk in freedom of being free from hurt and pain. And hey Chris, how you doing? You good?
I'm doing good,
Okay.
I'm great.
Yeah. So I'll let you take us there for forgiveness. Like, what is forgiveness first? What is forgiveness?
I
First
think
of all, what is
forgiveness is one of those things that everyone's going to deal with.
Yeah.
Because as long as you're a human being with the capacity of loving someone else or having people that you care about, you are automatically open yourself to the possibility of being offended. So, forgiveness is basically letting go of any kind of hurt, pain that someone has caused you intentionally or unintentionally, knowingly or unknowingly. And I think forgiveness, the best analogy that was given to me about forgiveness, it's like letting a prisoner go only to realize that prisoner was you.
Wow.
So forgiveness is one of those things that
wow.
it's for the benefit of the person that is forgiving. Is that sometimes people can offend you without knowing it,
Wow.
but it's you that's going to suffer as a result of holding that bitterness, that offense,
Yeah.
and you're allowing people to live rent-free in your soul if you
Wow.
hold that forgiveness.
Wow.
You
That
know?
is- that is-
So I
that
think
is so good.
forgiving
Yeah.
is one of those things that you need to be able to let go. Because it's one of those things that is going to cripple you, it's going to hurt you, it's going to affect your
Yes.
capacity
Yes.
to be in loving relationships with
Yep.
other people.
Yep.
It will affect your relationship with God. So I think just being able to let go and forgive those people will release that heavy burden that you might carry.
Yeah, and one of the things I've noticed, like, is this fatherhood situation. Like a lot of men and women, like, my dad did this, my dad did that, and I share from my own experience, like, like, of course, we young people, we like to put all the blame on our fathers for some reason. But I had one of the, had the wound, and I had to go and face my dad and speak to him, and actually not just forgive him by in my mind. I had to actually speak to him and say, Dad, I forgive you. I don't blame you for all this stuff. I'm not gonna. I know, yes, you're a man, you made mistakes, all that stuff, but I choose to forgive you. And the moment I did that, there was this heaviness that lifted off my shoulder. I had this freedom to now actually begin to do the stuff I need to do for my own life. And when you walk in unforgiveness, you're like Chris was saying, you're in the prison. You can't try to get out. You know what's so actually funny, You have the keys in your hand, but you cannot open the door. You're in a prison with the keys to open the door, but you can't. That's what unforgiveness does to you. And like, so now Chris, like, as a young person, like, like those that are offended with the mothers and the fathers and the uncles and the aunties and the spiritual fathers, yes, and spiritual mother. No, I don't want to say this stuff, right? You're offended with your pastor or your spiritual dad. Apparently they mistreated you, apparently they didn't lead you well, apparently they didn't care about you, they didn't love you enough, so you're offended. So like, what should a person, can you give us a few steps, like 1, 2, 3 steps to help someone who is offended with, let's say, their father, their dad, spiritual and biological, what they can actually do? What steps do they need to do to actually begin to walk into this freedom of walking in through forgiveness?
I think the first thing is humility. You need to be able to admit that I am offended.
Yeah.
And that is something that is very hard to admit. Because I want you to think about your own life. If you're listening to me right now, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, ask yourself, is there anyone that you're offended by? Is there someone that did something to you? So I think just admitting that and really owning and saying, that person offended me. They made me feel a certain type of way.
Yeah.
And that humility and accepting that I am offended is the first step. And I think once you have accepted that, if you're able to, depending on the situation or the circumstance of the person, if you're able to tell that person and let them know, not in a way of letting them know like, hey, you offended me.
You need to
I
know
want to
back,
let
you
you
know?
know. Because sometimes you can end up like making the situation worse. So I think just being able to humbly approach that person, if you're able to, because every situation is different. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you're in a position where you can actually tell that person that what you did to me on
Yeah.
this specific day, it made me feel a certain type of way, and you can get that conversation going.
Yeah.
You might actually realize that they might have offended you unknowingly, or they might have changed and grown, and they
Wow.
can accept
Wow.
that they wronged you, and you can actually reconcile a relationship.
Yeah.
When you might have written off that relationship
Yeah.
and saw it as we have burnt bridges that
Yeah.
we cannot cross.
Mm.
But if you are able to go to that person
Yes.
and let them know that,
Yes.
hey, you offended me, I felt a certain type of way because of what you did to me or what you say to me. So I think reconciling, letting that person know, is definitely.
Definitely.
And the truth is, sometimes if you can't actually reconcile with that person, you should still
Forgive
take it
them.
upon
Yeah.
yourself to forgive them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take it upon yourself to forgive them. Because at the end of the day, it's one of those things that's going to affect you.
Yeah, and even from the Christian side of things,
Yeah.
you need to actually, go to God and say, God, okay, I am struggling to forgive this person, but can you just give me the grace to let go of this pain, submit the pain to Him, and trust me, after being with God for a few minutes, yeah, yeah, the few minutes, so I call it a few minutes, it might be years, but I call it a few minutes. He will help you as long as you are being genuine, you're not being fake, you're not pretending to want to forgive someone. If you're actually being real and genuine, God will actually give the grace to forgive the person. And for the young lady there, your dad has offended you. Let me tell you, yeah, it's more for you than for him. Young man, it's more for you than for your mom. It's not. Look at it that it's more for you. Because when you forgive and you let go, you are allowing God to correct your parents' mistakes through you. The mistakes they made, you will not make them because you let go of them. And it will actually change how you see them. It will change how you speak about them. And it will change their perspective of them in your own eyes. That's this week's episode. Forgiveness. I'm glad there was not been joking and laughing because this is a very sensitive matter.
I know.
And there's a lot of people there that are struggling with this, and you can do it. You actually can forgive. Thank you for tuning in. Have a blessed day.